It's your girl, Jewelmani, and I am back for the new year. How y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing good. Before we get started, be sure to like, share, subscribe. What else? Follow me on all platforms. And yeah, let's get into it. So I'm not gonna lie, this is like my third time trying to film this. So I just know, I know that this video better be worth it. So today I'm gonna be talking about kind of like my review of 2024 and my New Year's goals. I'm so excited because I have such great news for this channel. I know I have not been consistent in a long time. Like I have not been consistent pretty much at all. So yes, so let's start with 2024. 2024 was emotionally draining for me. It was just a lot going on. But I did accomplish a lot of things. Like I competed in my first archery competition. I'm proud of myself. I went to the California State Indoor Championships. I did terrible, but I still did it though. So I did pretty well. I don't have an archery coach. I really do want one. It's just where I live, it's very difficult to find one that isn't like 30-40 miles away. My initial goal when I started archery a couple years ago was for me to compete and hopefully become the first Black USA archer for the Olympics. There's still time. There's still time. There has not been one yet. There's still time, y'all. I got till 2028 and they finna be in LA where my people are. My people are really from Oakland, but I'm a Cali girl. I am from SoCal. I'm a SoCal girly. So technically speaking, I don't claim LA, but I'm close enough to where my people would show out for me. So did my first archery competition. I scored 99 out of 700. So that's very terrible. But considering that I've never had a coach, I wasn't a part of a club when I signed up, I actually did pretty decent. I did pretty decent, and I shoot outdoors normally. So the arrows I had weren't even like standard indoor arrows. Like they qualified for the competition, but they weren't technically the indoor arrows. Like indoor arrows are a lot smaller. And I have my bow and my arrows in the room, but I just don't feel like taking them out because I gotta put them back. You know how that is. What else happened? Lots of funerals last year, which was kind of not it. I was in my first ever relationship last year. It concluded within the year. It started within the year and concluded in the year. And that will be a story time for a whole nother day. And the relationship, my mental throughout the relationship was super duper anxious. I was like dissociated, like a whole lot going on. It was just mentally draining. And then even like in church and like other stuff I was doing, I was just so dissociated and like just felt like I was floating along and like not really connecting with people. And my best friend did get married. I love my I have like two best friends. And one of my best friends got married. Shouts out to Brittany. I love you so much, girl. Like we gotta have a FaceTime call soon. We haven't talked in like a week, y'all. But Brittany, you my girl. Her bachelorette party was at Disneyland. That was a time. Her wedding day though, crazy. Like her wedding day was so crazy. It was super cute though. Like her wedding was gorgeous. She was gorgeous. Like I would do it all over again for her.
Yes. Can we get some promotion for the dress?
like first like getting all her pictures done at the beginning. We go to the park to get like her personal vows with her husband and get our bridal party pictures. Y'all, her nose started bleeding. Her nose started bleeding on her dress and her husband was trying to catch it.
I mean, we're all watching because I got my camera all the way.
And then that led to a whole nother thing, and poor thing, I was trying to get her ice out of my car. So I go to my car and try to get ice. Y'all, I left my keys in the car.
You can't make this shit up. No, he for the dog. Yo, wait. Hey, hold on, let me get this. I gotta get this on video. No. You can't do it.
It was, like I said, her wedding day was so chaotic, but once again, I would do it all over again for my girl Brittany because I love her that much, and I just loved seeing her and Chris get married. So yeah, so there was her wedding, my birthday, we're in the same week, so I didn't really do too much. I turned 27. My boyfriend at the time, he took me out to dinner and kept it at that. Like, it wasn't even on my birthday. We went to dinner 2 days before my birthday because he had to work his second job. Why he was working a second job? He was trying to buy a house. So he ended up buying a house. I helped him. You know, I'm gonna save it for the story time because I gotta hook y'all in. And I don't want this video to be super long because, once again, this is the third time I'm trying to record it. It's becoming ridiculous, okay? It's becoming ridiculous, and I need to have this posted no later than January 3rd, okay? I need to have this posted no later than tomorrow because I am going to accomplish my goals, okay? I said okay a lot, I'm sorry. So let's see, going through the months, we had a family reunion in Oregon. That was cool. I got to see my best friend again. It was my second time going to Oregon this year. I went earlier in the year in 2024 at this point. I went earlier to pick up my grandma from Portland, so I flew back with her so that way she wasn't by herself on the plane. But we had a family reunion. It was a vibe. It was really chill. The weather was nice. I still would never consider moving to Portland, but it is what it is. Love seeing my family, love hanging out with them. And then what else happened? I started chilling more so with like the church girlies, really like diving into stuff at my church. So I became the leader, which I had no idea of. I became the leader of social media at my church. And it's so funny because I left my home church, the church I grew up in, to kind of like avoid responsibility for a while, and also to get a sense of what it is that I'm supposed to be doing for the kingdom, right? So I'm like, I don't want to just keep doing stuff because my parents go here or because I feel obligated because nobody else is going to do it. My parents are going to ask me to do it anyway. So I really just wanted to make that decision on my own, and I decided to go to a totally different church. Y'all, I still got wrapped up in the same stuff, and it's so crazy, but it's different here. Like, I don't feel like I'm doing it out of obligation to my parents. I feel like I'm doing it because I genuinely love spreading the gospel by means of social media. Like, I enjoy that. I think it's a great way to not just reach the youth, but reach those who are trying to seek answers and to really find God. So I enjoy that, and I really do wish that I could do it as a full-time thing, because I just know in my heart of hearts, if I had a full-time job doing it, I for sure, it would be together. Like, we would be creating video content. Like, the content would be there if that was my full-time job. Speaking of jobs, I did get a raise at my job, but it's still kind of lackluster because I've been there for 3 years now, and this is like the first real raise I'm getting where it's not like it's not chump change, or chunk change as my little brother says. And so yeah, my job is just very, I'm in a weird space with it right now. Like work-wise, I feel like I have accomplished so much in my 3 years at my job, and last year really just kind of showed me what moves I probably need to be making, what I need to be looking into in the future, because I need to keep my job, so I'm not gonna say too much. But in all seriousness, I really do like my job. I don't hate it. I just would love to get back into the public health sector of things. Right now, I'm an interdisciplinary scientist, so I deal with different types of science. It's pretty much all I can really say. It's not like a super duper fancy job. I'm not in the lab. I am mostly dealing with chemicals, making sure people store them properly, making sure, you know, people aren't getting chemicals and mixing them together. I'm kind of like a regulatory type of scientist, if that makes sense. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of movement that can occur in my company, unfortunately. And after a certain point, like, I'm not gonna become an engineer. I don't want to be an aerospace engineer. That's never been on my list of things to do. So it just doesn't make sense for me to stick with my current job if I don't plan on, you know, going somewhere else in the aerospace field. So like I said, I will kind of leave that at that. Job-wise for 2024, I will say there was an old job of mine with Los Angeles County that I wanted to go back to, and I got the job. It just didn't pay enough money. Like, it would have been fine if I didn't get that raise, but that raise was raising, y'all. So I had to stay with my job. And as much as I would have loved to have gone back to public health and being a public health investigator and doing all those things, I for sure would have done that. But it just didn't, it wouldn't have made sense for me to commute that far. But I ended up not taking that job because it just would have put me in more financial stress. And speaking of financial stress, oh, my nose is itching real bad. Speaking of financial stress, I have been under that since May of last year, May of 2024. I racked up about $32K in credit card debt. So I have been without a credit card for most of 2024 up until today because I am trying to get my life together. So I'm currently working on a lot of things which will fall into my New Year goals. And what else happened this past year? Yeah, it was just, like I said, it was just mentally draining. There was just a lot of stuff on my mind. Towards the end of the year, got back into the gym. I started eating healthier. Then Thanksgiving came around and ruined those plans. So right now, my stomach is a little bit bigger than it normally is. And by bigger, I'm not even talking about like if I turn to the side, I'm talking about it spreads like this. It don't spread like this. It spreads like this. And that's the problem. So as soon as Monday hits, I will definitely be getting back into the gym. And I will be getting back to, I'm probably gonna Daniel fast because my friend in Zach is Daniel fasting. So I know she can be a good accountability partner, especially if I'm going to be posting on a weekly basis. She will know because she will see that I'm not following the Daniel fast. Like, she will know. So yeah. Yeah, this year was just a lot. Like, from the losses, I had about 4 family losses at the very beginning of last year. Like, in January, within the month of January, 4 people that I was related to passed away. And that was a lot. Not to mention family friends who passed. Like, towards the end of the year, it was like back to back people I knew passing away. One lady from church, my pastor's sister passed away, and she was part of the choir, so like I dealt with her often. And then another lady whose kids I used to teach in children's church, she was murdered. It was just a lot going on. Like mentally, I was just going through it. I felt very like dysphoric. I was unsatisfied. I was just like not happy with how my life was going. I felt very stuck, very stagnant, especially like the last 3 months of the year. I was just like in a really bad funk, like a really, really bad funk. And mentally, that's just not where I like to be. The last time I was in a really bad funk was about 2020, and well, 2019 to like mid to late 2020. I was just like in a terrible funk. I just didn't want to be here. Like I wanted to, you know, and I don't think that's good. I don't like being in that state of mind. It's not healthy. I feel like it takes me to a really dark place, and I act really ugly, and it's just not it. So yeah, and it's so weird because the beginning of last year I was so confident. I was like, yeah, you know, like watch night service from 2023 going into 2024 was heat. So I'm like on fire. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna tap in, I'm gonna do this, that, and the other. I'm like super confident, super secure in like what it is I'm supposed to be doing. Then everything just got so confusing so fast. Like I initially was trying to get into med school. Like I took the MCAT. I'm like putting out these timelines for when I'm supposed to get these prereqs done. I need letters of recommendation from this person, that person, and it never happened. For 6 months out of the year, I was preoccupied with a man, which won't be doing that again. Will not be doing that again. I need to focus on me, baby. I need to focus on me. I need to get my goals accomplished, because I don't ever want to settle and then be sitting up here like, dang, I never did what I wanted to do because I got caught up with this dude or caught up with a kid. Like I don't want that. And so yeah, like for 6 months I was just so confused, so dissociated, so anxious. And then also I was focusing on getting up out of here. I was like, I need to move. And it just wasn't happening. And so I started to become frustrated, hence the feelings of dysphoria, where I'm like, this ain't it. Like I don't belong here. Like nothing is good here. Like nothing good is here. And I'm like, well, that's not really fair to say, because I have been growing at church. Like I have been growing in this other setting. So I can't necessarily say it's like the worst thing ever. And it's so weird because throughout 2024, I was able to learn so much about myself that I didn't even realize. Like, and unfortunately, a lot of that had to deal with being in a relationship, because I've never been in a relationship. So I learned so much about myself in that aspect, who I am as a romantic partner, and some of my weaknesses, some of my flaws, some things I never really noticed. And also learning how to sacrifice for another person who is not family. Learning how to communicate with people who are not family or church in an intimate way. And I'm not talking about sexually, I just mean on a deeper level. So yeah, I just learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about processing things. Like one of the things me and my therapist worked on a lot last year was my self-confidence. And I really think I gained a lot more of that towards the end of the year, post-breakup. God already said I'm enough. And my personality is popping. Like I'm a cute girl. I ain't got nothing to worry about with what somebody else gotta say. If they don't like it, that's on them. They don't like it. It's not their fault. Everybody got different tastes. I ain't tripping. But I started becoming a baddie series on TikTok, and that kind of helped me like boost my confidence as well, because it kind of held me accountable. I was going to the gym, I was making smoothies, I was being productive, I was going out being a decent citizen in society, and just enjoying my life. And so that's kind of what I'm looking to do in the new year. So for me personally, what I want to do is I want to get my finances in order. And in order to do that, because y'all just don't understand, God has made a way for me to be able to still be in this apartment and still be able to pay rent, pay my bills. But every single payday, every 2 weeks, I have been low, like income wise. I've not been using my credit cards at all, except for like Target and Amazon, because they're like the lowest ones. But I don't want to continue living like that. I don't want to continue to be financially responsible. I'm almost 30. I can no longer be irresponsible. I plan on having a family someday. I can't be irresponsible like that. So I am trying to get my finances together. And to be honest, I was avoiding it for a long time. I didn't want to ask my parents for help. I didn't want to ask anybody for help. But my aunt gave me some really good advice. She told me to write out a budget. And even when it comes to getting my credit score back to the level of a white man's, like it was before, she told me to write letters to creditors explaining the situation, explaining that I'm working with a debt solution company and they told me to do X, Y, Z, whatever. So I will be working with my aunt in this new year to help get my credit up, and also with budgeting and seeing and really monitoring my money. Because that was the other thing. I didn't like to look at my bank account because I would get stressed out if I didn't have enough money. So that is one thing I will be nipping in the bud this year, which is my finances. I do want to not live paycheck to paycheck, which is why I'm really praying for a higher paying job in the meantime, which leads me to career-wise. Pardon me. Career-wise, I do want to get a new job. It's about that time. It's been 3 years. I did promise my boss when I signed on that I was going to give him 3 years, and it wasn't a part of the contract. When I accepted the offer, he asked if I would be here for 3 years at least, and I said, yeah, sure. Now, was I looking to clock out 2 years into it? Absolutely. You wanna know why? Because folks was getting on my nerves and talking to me crazy, but that's neither here nor there. So I do wanna get a new job. And with this new job, I do want to finally hit 6 figures, because I've seen that it's possible. Like, I've seen the jobs that are being listed and doing the same exact thing that I'm doing currently with less work, more pay. So I would be a fool to get a job offer, which if I do get a job offer, y'all just don't understand. I'm coming on here and telling my testimony ASAP, no Rocky, because y'all don't understand the amount of stress that I've been going through doing my job by myself, because the workload is a lot when you're alone. And I don't think anybody understands that. And then when you're a Black woman working on a government facility, in the capacity that I'm working, I'm not like at the commissary, I'm not at the food court. I'm working a job where I tell people what to do. And that messes with some folks. Like, when I first came in, people was real disrespectful, saying I didn't know I was just a diversity hire. And I'm a Black woman, but I have the credentials to also prove why I got the job. I didn't get the job because my daddy had connections. I got the job because of my merit, because of my education, and because I'm a good freaking worker. So I feel like the amount of stress that I was put under like even right now, the amount of stress that I deal with on a daily basis is just a lot for one person. And so that's why I'm looking to get a new job soon. I'm not sure how soon, but I hope soon. It's been very difficult in the job market. Another New Year's goal of mine is to really tap into my health and make sure that I am eating healthier and that I am exercising regularly, because I do want to have kids one day, and I want to make sure that my body is taken care of beforehand, so that way it's easier to maintain once I'm pregnant, which will be some years from now, so don't worry about that. My parents got at least probably like 5 to 7 years before they can expect a grandkid from me. So there's that. I really want to go to PA school. I've been looking into it for a couple years now, and I was like, I feel like I'm selling myself short by not going to med school. I should really just go to PA school instead. And that might be better if I want to have a family. Like, it's not as time consuming. I'm on a set schedule. It's not as much responsibility, but I'm still dealing with patients, and it's less school. And I feel like my experience has been a lot better with PAs and NPs than it has been with NDs lately. And I want to be a PA. I want to be able to reach back out into the community and help them out, because I feel like as a Black woman and as a Black person in general, we do not get appropriate care. We don't get adequate care unless we explicitly ask for it, and even then we're ignored. And so I really want to be a PA who makes a difference for us specifically. Everybody else got their help. It's time for us to get some help, and I want to be the help. So that is one of my goals. And then the final goal is, drumroll please, the final goal, and it's not even necessarily a goal, but it kind of is. So for this channel here on YouTube, in the YouTube space, I have been avoiding it for a really long time. It's not necessarily a podcast that I want to start, but I definitely want to tap in and do this thing that I've been avoiding for like the last 5 years, possibly. I think it's been about 5 years I've been avoiding it, since 2019. So I am starting a series called Self-Censored Chronicles of a Church Girl, where I discuss different things in my life, different topics relating to being a Christian, being a young Christian who is also single, never been married, doesn't have kids, and just kind of demystify some things, because I feel like some people make it unbearable, not just unbearable, but impossible to be a Christian and live a life that you enjoy. Like, yes, it takes discipline. Yes, you do have to die to the flesh. It is not easy. I'm not going to say that it's easy. It's not easy at all. You have to make sacrifices that you might not want to make sometimes. Like, I have some Via Ray sitting in my fridge right now that is really good, by the way. But I can't just overindulge in alcohol all the time. I can't overindulge. A glass might be fine, but like, I can't do that. You know, I have to sacrifice some things. I can't be out doing certain things if I call myself a representative of Christ. And I feel like it needs to be demystified, because there's so many lies being spread on social media that are making it impossible and making it so legalistic for people to be Christians that I feel like it ultimately can turn people away from Christ. And so that's why I really feel like it's important for me to start this series on my channel. And for the most part, I'm looking forward to being more consistent here on this page or on this channel. I'm so used to referring to stuff on TikTok. This is here. This is a channel. So one of the other things channel-wise I want to do is I want to try my best to post once a week. Now this is going to be very what's the word I'm looking for? It's not egregious. It's a stretch. So no, the goal is for me to post, I believe I said every week. It's a stretch, for sure, it's a stretch, but it's doable. I feel like I have enough story times and enough discussion topics with the Chronicles of a Church Girl series that I should be able to achieve this goal. So Chronicles of a Church Girl, I'm not going to do that every single week, but I will definitely be posting that content at least once a month. And then the final thing I want to do for 2025 is really enjoy my life. I haven't really gotten the chance to go on a vacation in about 2 years, and so that's one thing I want to do. I want to take one good trip, whether that be abroad. I don't know how things are gonna work out because they cutting up. They cutting up over here. I don't know, but I definitely want to take a trip, whether that be to New York, to Puerto Rico, which I heard Puerto Rico is nice. I love me a good New Yorker, I love me an East Coaster. I don't know. We shall see, but I'm definitely looking forward to 2025. I feel like 2025 is going to be a good year. I hope it treats me better than 2024 because, like I said, it was an emotional roller coaster, and I have plenty of story times for last year. Okay, plenty of story times, plenty of discussion topics, some of which might have to be broken into different parts and make that its own little series. But yeah, anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching, listening to your girl yap, because I do like to yap, and that's part of the reason I'm bringing my content over to YouTube more often than TikTok, because we all know TikTok might be disappearing. I don't know what's going on, but like I said, thank you so much for tuning in and watching me. I really do appreciate the views, y'all. Honestly, the views are encouragement. They do encourage me to keep posting, and it just lets me know like people actually want to see the content and it's not all in vain. Once again, thank you for watching. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, because that helps with the engagement, y'all. And follow me on all socials. Yeah, except for Instagram. That's private. I'm not taking it off of private, y'all, because there's too many weirdos out here. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. It is definitely a stretch. And so first of all, y'all, I done lost a nail, bro. Where did it go? I look like my mama though. Y'all, my mama cute. But I'm really looking like her. That is so crazy. The older I get, the more I look like that lady. Shouts out to you, Athena. You and Will did y'all big one. She gonna get me for saying that too.